Adam Thomas Argyle, the nerd.
Howdy, y'all. Happy to be here.
Hey, happy to be here as well. How are you doing, Adam?
Good. Same thing as always, though, which is half the day I'm like, oh, tech is awesome. I love AI. And then the other half of the day is, what am I doing? This is terrible. We are ruining the world. And I just can't decide. And so between that feeling and then the feeling of politics and then just being a dad and, a spouse, that's great, dude. It's a
Yeah.
regular tearing day where I feel like I'm pulled into 10 pieces. How about you, man?
Well, I didn't read any headlines today or do anything that made me have existential dread. But today was actually good because it was 80 degrees, so it makes me feel like summertime's
Dang.
coming. Yeah, and for some other
Weren't
reason
you
it was
just
good. I
snow
forget
blowing?
though.
You had a machine
Yes.
that you like. What
It's
the
gonna
heck?
snow again, I think, next week, so it never ends.
Wow.
Um, but yeah, what always makes you feel better? Some nice whiskey.
A
We've
little bit
got
of whiskey.
we've got Redwood Empire Pipe Dream. This is their flagship one. They were kind enough to send us this bottle for us to check out. We've had several Redwoods on the show before. Big fans. Thanks to Redwood for sponsoring this episode and sending us some awesome stuff. Excited to try the flagship.
Yep,
It
same.
it is 72% corn, 18% rye, 5% wheat, 5% malted barley, and it is a blend of bourbons from California, Indiana, Kentucky, and Tennessee with an age range between 4 and 12 years. So it's got a lot going on. It
Awesome.
is named after the 14th largest redwood tree in the world, apparently. Um, Adam wrote this, so he could have written anything, and I would read it.
Oh, I should do that to you one day. That'd be great.
I'm Ron Burgundy.
Glug, 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 glug. I do love the sounds. They're so good.
But yeah, apparently the bottle has the latitude and longitude, so you could hike to this redwood tree. That's pretty dope. And they also
Yeah, I
plant
thought
a
that
ton
was
of
cool.
trees.
They do. And I was like, I hope, oh, there's the lat and long. Okay, so we got the lat is 40.34728, and the long is 123.96152. If anybody wants to
Nice.
hike there, I hope there's not a whole bunch of bottles there. I hope there's like respectful people hiking there.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, let's give it a taste. Oh, before we taste, do we have a toast? I haven't looked that far down in the notes.
We got a toast, dude. Okay, so here's to the West Coast, the best coast, where the roots run deep and the networks run fast, to the ancient redwoods, perfectly anchored in the fog, reminding us that the most resilient architectures take centuries to scale. Cheers, mate.
Cheers. I'm smelling spearmint,
Ooh,
or
that's
maybe
kind
more
of
of a
exciting.
licorice. Maybe not spearmint. Maybe the
Definitely
licorice is what I'm
licorice.
smelling.
Yeah. Peppers.
Whatever root beer is made of, roots.
Oh man,
Yeah,
it
I'm gonna give it a
smells young,
taste.
but it tastes good. And it's got like a good rye bite for bourbon. It's not too sweet.
Oh wow, that is much different than it smells. It hits you really hard with some sweetness in the beginning and then some rye finish, which is kind of nice.
Kind of nice. I always like a rye finish. I went to the store today and I was like, I need a rye in the cupboard. And I like having a scotch in the cupboard. Um, hey, this is gonna hit those senses. I like it. It's a little
Yeah.
cedary, and maybe it's because I'm, reading redwood on there, but there's a like a delightful woodiness to it.
Yeah. Yeah, it does feel like some perhaps interesting barrels or something. I'm not really sure where they get all these flavors from, but it seems like they have a lot in the mash bill. They have a lot of blended stuff together, so perhaps it's more in the mastering the craft of the blend, which the folks at Barrel do really well as well. So, I'm a fan of blends and figuring that out. I think that takes as much work, if not more, than distilling just something from scratch.
So
So,
that goes into some of the history of this one. So apparently it's aged anywhere from 4 to 12 years. And I don't think we got a young batch. I think this one tastes really good. But they
yeah.
also do, I can't remember the acronym, but it was like MGD or MGP. Someone's going to be really upset that I didn't write that down. But there's a famous distillery that has a whole bunch of whiskeys to pick
That's
from.
that's MGP, yeah.
MGP.
Um,
So that's where they picked and sourced all of these and blended them,
Okay.
and they chose specific barrels. So it's like they have been very picky and they did a good initial selection for this flagship, and so people gave them a lot of props, like, "Oh, you picked the right distillery, the right blends." Um, and yeah,
Yeah.
this is good.
Yeah. I'm noticing that my lips are very off from what I'm saying. Are you noticing that?
It looks good now, but when you first said your first word today, it was quite delayed.
Hmm.
I like
Oh well, our
the
problem
AI
for later.
reference on the front, which is the power of imagination makes us infinite. Ooh,
Ooh.
way to go, John Muir.
Yeah. All right. So, for anyone who has never listened to this show before, we have a very complex rating system 0 to 8 tentacles, 0 being the worst, 8 being the best, 4 or 5 being middle of the road. We should really make it have a middle number so I can stop saying that. Anyway, Adam, what do you think?
Dude, okay, so I really like the rye bite. I like that this is a bourbon I'm gonna enjoy a lot more than I think I would have, like a, something a little sweeter. So I'm really happy about that. It's got um like a woodsy vibe. There's just something about it. Like, I know it's from the West Coast and they're up in the redwoods, but there is something kind of piney, and it's
Hmm.
very reminiscent for me of the West Coast, just the way that it smells when you go into the woods. Um, I don't think I'm gonna give it a seven, because there was the High and Wicked we had recently that I gave a seven. It was like super good. I was like really into
Hmm.
that one. But definitely high sixes. I'm gonna go like a 6.75 on this. This is really
Okay.
good.
Yeah, I agree. It's very tough. I want to give everything a 7 because
Yeah,
it's
it's
nothing's perfect, but I don't have anything super bad to say about it. But that being said, compared to the High and Wicked, which was one of my favorites that we've had, honestly, um, this is not quite as good. So yeah, I'm gonna say we'll say 6.5. Sounds fine.
nice. Ooh, subsequent sips. Um, More amber, a little bit of honey. Ooh, this is good. It's a good adventure. Yeah, it must be the blends. The blends just kind of keep rolling flavors over my tongue. It's
Yeah,
exciting.
yeah, very pleased. All right, so I put couple little different things in here. I was trying to do like a little would you rather game, and I only came up with two, so it's short. But would you rather review one PR with 200 changed files or 10 PRs with 20 changed files?
I might have done this to my coworkers recently, so I did one of each. I wonder which one they didn't like most. I can tell you which one was harder to get reviewed, and that was the 200 changed files in one PR.
Hmm.
But you know it's nice to roll back? One PR with 200 changed files.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I'm somewhere on the fence. Here, yeah, maybe you'll convince me. What do you think?
Well, so it depends, but I think I tend to agree with you. Like, there's a lot of initial shock when you see that many changed files that makes your brain shut down and you don't want to review it. However, you're not saving yourself any work. You're still going to review them all at some point. So I would say, like, keep the big PR, but just review it a little at a time. Like, go through GitHub has a nice thing where you can just check each one you've looked at and like come back later and start where you left off and do the rest. Because when you have it all split up, it's like you said, if it's all related changes and you need to revert it, then you're reverting 5 PRs instead of one. Um, but yeah, I had this problem at work where like yeah I couldn't get anything reviewed because it was huge, and they're like, "Can you break it up?" I'm like, "Absolutely," which AI is super good at. If you have the GitHub CLI and you tell Claude like, "Hey, I'd like this to be 5 PRs, please," it's like dope. I found these like domain areas that these files kind of fit in. We're gonna split them into those, and then like I'm gonna open 5 PRs for you with the GitHub CLI. And I was like, ooh, sick. I don't have to do anything. This would have taken me hours to like figure out how to manually split it up. So props to Anthropic today.
Nice. Have you done any stacks yet? So this is a graphite feature, but it's kind of like, you know, branches that depend on each other.
Hmm.
And like normally you'd have to do it and like just have pointers in the comments and be like, this is one of four, but they actually personify it. Well, they have UI for it that shows that they're all related. It shows them as a group. You can see the status of them. You can even see if they're all approved and ready to go. That the one at the end is ready to. The only bummer. So here's the kind of follow up I was going to say is about stacks are cool. I'm enjoying the stack workflows, and I think I talked about it last week with Git Butler as being a really great app for facilitating stacks and having branches of branches, or even having three branches checked out at once in a work tree. being able to like try on a combination of different people's work. But the bummer comes from like there's an order that matters. And so when you have the one PR, which is a feature PR with all the changes in it, you get to see it all. There's no order of operations to deal with. And so we've had this issue where like I've got 4 PRs or whatever, and I have to wait for them all to be ready because they all need to merge back to back. However, dude, hundreds of people are trying to merge code. So it's not like those four just go in together. And so
Right.
it's like, okay, so now do I squash the stack after we did all the work and then we re approve or whatever? I don't know. It just kind of gets weird. So there's no easy answer to this. Kind of like although it's rebase is the right answer, but um, yeah,
Always the right answer.
I think I would rather review the if it's one feature and these are all related to the feature, that's not so bad. And plus, if something does happen, you really can revert, make a couple changes to that, and resubmit and go through another approval process and kind of learn from your priors. But if you had 20 different PRs and one of the 20 kind of borked the rest, dude, you're in a mess. Um,
Hmm.
but real quick, the way that I got to this scenario was over the weekend. I figured out how to take one of our internal agents in Shopify and coerce it into kind of a Ralph Wiggum loop, and it made 48 PRs on Saturday. And I'm only through 5 of them right now. And other people are just like, "What are all these?" And I'm like, "I don't know yet." I'm trying to figure out everything it did.
You
Some
just
of them
gave
were
it vague
junk.
instructions of write PRs. It said, I got you.
Well, yeah, it was like because I've added a scroll component, and so I'm like, hey, anything that's got overflow needs migrated. So just go find overflow and swap it for the component, and it's like boop boop boop, it just did it in loops. Um, anyway, so yeah, that's my mess I've created, but they're all individual ones. They're not related, so it's a little easier to navigate. But hey, that's a fun question. I like that one.
Yeah. So the only other one is would you rather turn on YOLO mode for your AI and just review it all later? Don't watch it at all. Or like work with it step by step, validating like it's doing the right things so that it can't just, go off the rails all day.
Yep, I'm still torn on this. I all up until about last week, I never YOLO'd. Except with Pi. Pi YOLO's out the box. So, in case everybody's curious, if you have Pi, it's just going to do stuff. It's mostly Claude and Warp that want to sort of like ask you these questions along the way. But then again, I started YOLOing about a week and a half ago because I was getting really tired of approving. But approving is good because it'll never do something catastrophic without me seeing it first. And so
Yep.
I don't like to let it do git commands. And so that's constantly where I'm like, you don't write that git command, I do. I'm in charge of what actually gets sent to other people. But then just this morning, I put Warp on a task, and it spun through all my credits until it goes, "I'm out of credits," and I'm like, "You didn't solve the problem." Dude, I went and solved the problem. One line of code, one line of CSS, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Holy shit! This thing just spun
AI is
all
not
of my."
perfect.
Oh goodness. Um, so yeah, I think I'm somewhere in the middle. I think I'm mostly YOLO these days, but it bites me, and I would almost rather go back to where I was with which my sound bites, where I got ogres and peons and Duke Nukems and 8-bit sounds, kind of telling me the status of what AI is doing, and then I go check in on it. But then it doesn't do shit for you overnight. So yeah, it's trade offs all the way down. What are
Yeah.
you doing this right now?
I'm always like working iteratively. Like I try to do I forget which tool does what. I feel like they all handle it a little differently for the auto approve, where it's kind of like, hey, I'm using the GitHub CLI. Would you like me to auto approve like any GH command? Like, yeah, like anything that I feel comfortable with a whole subset of, I'm like, do all of that. But yeah, I like for it to come back because, like you just said, you burned through all your tokens and it's like it didn't even give you the result you want. It kind of prefers doing that a lot of the time. Which whether that's programmed in it to make you spend more money or it's just a happy accident, I think they like that you get tired of hitting approve, so you let it YOLO and it burns through all your money, and then you have to either give them more money or do no work for the next month, which is probably not what you would choose. So
Yep, I didn't do any work over the weekend because I burnt all of my. Well, OpenClaw is a hungry token bitch, and so Try, and I've done all these things to try to pacify it and make it take less tokens. But you remind me too. I have an allow list that I was really nitpicky about for a long time. So like in Claude, you can go say, right, like you're saying, wildcard all of ls. Like if you're just listing files, I don't even care what comes after ls. Like ls, your heart away. I'm never going to deny you that. But um, I've kind of given up on micromanaging the allow list. Oh, this kind of reminds me too. Have you heard of dark factories?
I have not.
Man, I should have put this on the notes. This is a cool concept. Well, is it cool? Here, you tell me. Is this cool or is this creepy as hell? Dark Factory is an AI mantra where you don't care what the code is at all. So you write specs and you write expectations. This is what I want out of the software. I literally don't give a shit how it's done. I just want the feature. So do it. It's almost like when you do Bolt or Lovable and you just get something back. That was a Dark Factory. You could go peek at it if you want, but
Yeah.
calling it a dark factory or hosting one is you very intentionally saying we will not review. We just tell it expectations, and the factory makes things for us. What do you think? Would you want one of these? Is this the future? Is a dark factory, or like how do you
Well,
feel about this?
I think as long as software development teams exist in a similar way to how they do now, it will never be acceptable to just do that. Like that would be acceptable for a personal project or a team of a couple people or whatever. Because I think that it's like there's always going to be code review unless you've moved all of your code review. You're so confident in AI code review that you don't like it'll review itself. You're never going to look at the code on either side. Then maybe, but as long as I'm reviewing something, I can tell if you didn't look at the code at all. There's going to be a
Mm,
lot of signs. It's like when you tell it to write text and it uses M dashes and like all the stuff it shouldn't use. You're like,
yeah.
I see it. Yeah, I am absolutely right. That is definitely AI written. So I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I think we will get there. I think at some point software teams will be drastically different than they are now to where we're kind of all okay with that. But I think I don't know, everything moves fast, but I feel like we're years away from completely not caring what the code looks like.
Yes, I agree. I think it's important right now that we continue looking at the code. It makes way too many mistakes. Way too many mistakes. Just like today, like I'm saying, like it was the I don't even want to go into the problem. It literally was one line of CSS. Who cares what it was? It burnt a lot of tokens and I used multiple models. So after
Hmm.
Warp ran out, I was like, I'm just exhausted right now. I'm trying to do work and I want to do some personal hacking on my on my open Claude. So it's just like go nuts with Claude this time, and I just had to stop it. I was like, because it's just going in circles. Especially when it starts taking pictures, it's like, oh, I'm gonna take pictures and I'm like, no, please don't do that. You're just gonna eat up tokens even faster. You can't even see, you dork. I mean, what are you
Yeah.
gonna learn from some pixels?
The thing that's always gets me is like all the things it says makes it sound so much like it knows more than you. Of like you're asking it to do a thing and it's like, oh, here's like 10 pages on the exact way all of this works. And I know exactly the changes we need to do what you want. And I'm like, oh my God, you know. Like, yeah, can you implement it? It's like, no. So I feel like we're still falling flat and like I'm having way more magical moments than terrible moments these days, but it still lets me down a lot of the time. And like I was doing some stuff with Ember Data, which arguably is not used a ton, so it doesn't have a lot of reference material. But I was like, okay, if you have a relationship, the other side of the relationship has like they have a inverse key, and you have to set it like this inverse, like the other side of the relationship on this other model is called this, is like what it's for. So I was like, this, you can programmatically know definitively whether there's one on the other side because you go find that model. And if it's there, I want you to fill that in for me. And it's like, cool. I looked at all of them. Here's a table of all of them. I'll show you all the values on every side. I spent days trying to get it to do it right. And it just would not. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, it's right there. You're going to make me look through all of these, each one manually, and tell you which ones you did wrong. Like, because I can't say the right words to make you look at it again and like realize your table is wrong. Oh, yeah, it's frustrating.
So I mentioned 48 PRs got opened up on Saturday, but let me be a little bit more real. And I hope we are more real on this show than other people who are like hype training this stuff. But it opened up 48 PRs, and um, and I was like, okay, give me a link to all of the PRs. I want to see them in a flat list and categorize them by the type. You know, like if they're mobile, or just give them some general categories. Oh, which also reminds me, every time Pi spins up a subagent, it's a video game name. I might have said that last week. Anyway, it's
No,
really fun.
it's a fun fact I
Pi
have
is
not
just
heard.
so fun. Okay, yeah, Pi is just so fun. You can customize the shit out of it. I'm just having a blast. So like every subagent has a name from a video game that matches the task they're doing, and it's just so fun. It's like I spun up 3 agents. Here's Snake and Pac-Man and something else, and I'm like, hell yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so anyway, this agent opens up 48 peers, lists them. 27 of them or whatever say overflow suppression, right? Remember, I was like migrating overflow, and I was like, overflow suppression. I was like, what the hell is that? And it's like, well, I turned overflow off on those 28 PRs so they don't scroll anymore. And I'm like, well, that is completely
Sounds bad.
unacceptable. I was like, that's not a migration, dude. That's just you ignoring the work. And I was like, where did I get the lazy agent? Come on, why do these agents show up? They're either lazy or they're liars right now. They're like, hey, I did the work. And you're like, you did? So prove it. And it goes, oh, you caught me. I didn't. I'm like, what do you mean I caught you? The AI
Yeah,
should never tell me I caught it.
yeah.
What the hell?
I'm
So I had
having
it
a
rework
lot
it, and
of
it did it. But dude,
yeah. I'm having a lot of trouble with OpenClaw doing that. Where like every single time I'm like, hey, here's a clip of the podcast. You have a podcast clip posting skill. It connects to PostBridge. It knows that there are platform specific captions. It's part of the like API call. They should be of a certain format. And every single time I do it, it'll like forget that there's platform captions and make 8 separate posts for each platform, or like it forgot that it was called Twitter in the platform captions and called it X, which I could see a person making that mistake or whatever. But like you have it document, like I told you, remember in the skill, write it down that this was the format. And I guess it's just not writing it down. I haven't opened up the skill to look at what it's written down, but like it just does everything. Like it'll do it perfect, and I'm like, that was great, remember that. And it never ever remembers that. Like I thought that was supposed to be the magic of OpenClaw, and I don't. What do I need another thing? Like a lot of people have been releasing stuff. OpenClaw memory messed up. Like install this thing. I haven't tried any of them yet to see if it fixes it. But like, why? If I tell you explicitly, then you should be reading that skill and you should see it in there and you should do that every time. I don't understand what's happening.
I've got the same issue. The one that keeps getting me is I'm in Discord, and I'm like, never reply in the general channel. The general channel is where I spin up a new thing and then use subthread. Always. And never ever post there. Um
It posts
and
there all the time.
it posts there all the time. And and then the weird thing is it went and it was solid for like a week, dude. And I was like, finally I nipped it. And I did the same thing you did though, where I haven't gone and looked, but it keeps saying it wrote it to memory. I wrote it to my files. I'll never mess it up again. And the other thing it does that I always tell it to stop doing is it stop reporting errors to me. I'm like, I don't want to see errors in GitHub. Just I have one thread. It's called the errors thread. Put them all in one thread. Every time you catch an error, stick it right there. I just don't care. Um, and it's constantly posting them everywhere. So yes, I totally agree. There's like a couple of really weird quirks where I'm like, I know you're a puppy and shit, and I'm supposed to like train you, and I'm trying to be patient, and I'm never mad at it or whatever, but I'm just like, some of this stuff is really annoying, and it's so apologetic too, it's just like, oh, I'm so sorry, you're totally right, you've told me 20 times now, and it can even count it, and you told me 19 times to not do that. I'm like, well, how many more? You're like my children, and I don't want that. I would like a computer, not a child, please. So
Yeah. Yeah, I mean the strategy that I think we've both talked about that does work better is like anything that can be a script, just make it a script, and then it's like it can never get it wrong because it's just invoking the script.
yeah.
But like, yeah, is it just do I have too much context? Do you like reset before you do anything every single time, or like I don't understand when it decides to clear the context, if ever. I don't know. I haven't gotten that in the weeds about it.
I have a little bit. So I had it make a token dashboard. Oh, here, I'll share that blog post here. I'll go to nerdy.dev and find my I talked a little bit about some of my OpenClaw stuff, but I have it make a dashboard of its own usage because I want to go look through the usage and be like, what's going on? What was expensive? Oh, here's a blog post I should talk about at some point today. Swoop, there it is. Um,
Oh yeah, I
but I
saw the
had to make
picture
a
for that one. I didn't read it, but it was cute.
nice, thank you. It's very Cuphead inspired. Um, but the idea was make a dashboard, track all your usage, show me which or not GitHub, show me which Discord threads are consuming the most, which I assumed was going to be the store I'm building. I'm building a Shopify store, and I'm like, hey, that's probably going to be, and it was one of the top ones. But it was general channel because every post that goes to the general channel, it would read to the beginning to find context and pack all
Oh
that
God.
shit into its brain and then charge me, right? It was, and then I was like, stop. As soon as I saw that, I was like, new rule. When
Yeah.
I make a post in the general channel, it is a completely fresh context. I want you to only reference your little internal memory files and your little things that I've taught you and start fresh. Furthermore, OpenClaw punk ass, as I call punk ass. Furthermore, if I post to a thread, I want you to only read up 2 past messages to get a sense of what it is I'm talking about. If you don't have enough and you don't feel confident, you can read a couple more and a couple more. But do not flat read the entire thread to catch up to this one comment. It's very likely it's within the last 2 chats, and I don't need you packing up context for that. And that has saved me a lot of tokens, but it's
But it
not perfect.
listens. Like, how does it remember that instruction?
Well, I mean, it says it writes it to the same spot it writes the other instructions that it doesn't actually listen
Well,
to. So,
yeah, exactly. So I don't know.
yeah,
Luck of the draw, I guess.
look at it.
But
Some of
we
it does.
could,
Yeah.
yeah, we could be talking about this for the whole episode. So I want to steer us away from this because we always get trapped. I want to talk a little bit about. Did you see? I feel like this has maybe been a week or two now because we had guests last week, and I think maybe it happened around. I don't know. Where Cloudflare rewrote all of Next.js in a week
Oh,
with
yes. I
AI.
definitely saw this. Yeah. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you watch everything unfold after they posted that?
No. I heard a couple of things about it. Like someone's like, it's going to be packed. I mean, so there's been security vulnerabilities in Next forever. So it's like, how many did this introduce? I'm sure it's like the first vector they attacked. But yeah, tell me
Well,
more.
yeah, so I didn't see everything. Everyone was talking about it and everyone's like, "Oh my god, AI is so powerful. You can just rewrite, a tool as powerful as Next.js in 1 week. Like, what could we do next?" And then Guillermo got really salty. He
Of
was like,
course.
I think the first thing he posted was like no context, just like a link to like some Vercel docs on how to migrate from Cloudflare to Vercel. And then I think within the next 6 hours, like I think he had his whole team up at arms, like doing stuff on it. He was like, "Oh, we found 3 critical vulnerabilities. We fixed them all, by the way, because we think the web should be like a safe place to be." Or I don't know, like, and then yeah, it was and then like everyone was like, "Oh, there's no vendor lock in with Next.js, no vendor lock in," and then they're like real people who have used it are like, there's some vendor lock in. It's like like you can technically deploy it elsewhere, but you lose like all of the goodness. Which Vercel is a great platform. We use it for a lot, like no shade. But yeah, if you're doing Next.js, you're kind of committing to using Vercel. So, I think this was a interesting experiment. But I just love the drama.
The drama was well worth it. And I like the drama because every weekend somebody rewrites some shit in a day. Like overnight. And so yeah, you just had this with Andre Kapersky. I'm gonna screw up his name so bad, but he's like one of the famous AI folks right now. And he's like, overnight, I had my new research loop, which is like a Ralph Wiggum incremental research. Have you seen this actually? The research loop this person wrote?
Is this the auto research thing? I saw something called auto research that was like supposed to do something. I don't know if
I
that's
don't
what
know.
you're talking about.
Maybe, but it's just like another one of those scenarios where someone overnight had AI working and who knows how many tokens are racked up and it solved some hefty problems. And so this particular one was um, they wrote a research loop that researches the topic, tries to make an incremental improvement, a measurable improvement, and if it works, it commits it and then it runs the loop again. So it's like Wiggum making just nudging something, just nudging towards victory. And sure enough, they woke up in the morning. It was a really tough problem, and they had incremented the progress by like 13% and made these, wild
Hmm.
improvements overnight by just, I call this brute force. I don't know what other people call this because it's not elegant.
It's guess and check. Yeah. Brute
Yeah,
force.
yeah. It's Wiggum is not elegant. This is a really rudimentary. This is like hacking when all you did was bang on the door with one. One didn't get me in. Two, did that get me in? No. Three, I'm like, oh my god, how long is this going to take? Well, it's like a computer. It's going to sit here and do it. It's a dumbass. It's just a loop.
Yep.
So anyway, but the research loop was interesting. But what I just like every weekend that happens is somebody recreates something that took other people years to do. Like, what was it 2 weeks ago? It was like, we rebuilt a browser. It cost us $400 in tokens and we rebuilt X. Hey, we rebuilt X with this. And it's just like all of that to say,
Yeah.
I can't rebuild the scroll implementation on my site with any LLMs. Yet you can rebuild an entire Rust backed server. uh we're in a weird space right now, and these like wild sweeping things that people are building are kind of pissing me off, because they just give this false impression. And even for me, it's like I've kind of one shot at a few things, but what the one shots aren't the cool feature of AI, but they're the things that get you the likes and the, I don't know, man.
Yeah. One shotting doesn't really work. And if it is going to work, I think the pre-work really matters. Like you need a
Yeah.
really fleshed out spec, or at least more details than like, I want you to build a social media platform, like you can't do that and it's like, hey, cool, I built X for you, or I built Instagram for you, or like whatever. Because there's so many layers to that too, of like, well, are you going to use SaaS products for everything? Like, are you rolling your own off? Like, are you just building visually the same thing? Because that's not as hard. You can fake it with like, CSS and make it look like the thing without having the functionality.
Yeah.
Um, so I think it all comes down to, is it for fun and for it to display similar? Because if so, you can do that sometimes. If it is supposed to have anywhere near the same functionality where it talks to some sort of API and that whole API is all fleshed out and your authorization and authentication and like all the things are done, like that stuff is not getting one shotted. I don't think, at least that I've seen.
I mean, yeah, I feel like the back end, Rust things, these are just like the contracts are so tight that they're more primo for rewrites or optimizations than the front end. And so
Yeah.
that's kind of the issue that I had, is right. It's like I'm giving it a front end task that's just wildly wiggly. Especially I've got one at work that's like only in Safari in this one weird little case, and AI doesn't know how to solve that. AI can't compute the combinatorial explosion of like multiple browser versions, plus the way that heights are calculated with the fucking 40 million boxes that it took to get down to that one little box that had some text in it that's broken. Like that's just, I, I'm eager though to take some of those jobs. Like those are some of my
Oh,
least
sure.
favorite ones to do,
Yeah.
right? I'm just like, I don't want to go
Well, have you
hunt the.
tried? Have you tried installing like a combinatorics.ai skill?
I have not.
Yeah, I haven't either. I
No.
was just like, I wonder if there's enough fancy algorithms to brute force, all the possible, like more more informed brute force. Like, oh, we're
Yeah.
using the what's the solve thing? I don't know. We're using Dijkstra's algorithm to like find the shortest path to this
It's a
thing
process of
or
elimination. So yeah,
whatever.
you could brute force your way to understanding what it's not until you finally discover. I mean, that's honestly what I do. That's what CSS. That's what any of us who have ever coded for a long time. That's what we do. Is we've now acquired so many wrong things that we know what's right. And when we
Yeah.
see enough of wrong things and we see bad behavior, like a lot of people are like, "Dude, how'd you know that was doing that?" I was like, "I have smelled that pile of shit before, and I
Mm-hmm.
know I've smelled it's." That's my 20th time smelling that, and I know exactly what it is. And it's just like, I'm not
Yeah.
proud.
Yeah. It's hard to explain that too, because people will be like, I don't know, I'll be pairing or whatever, and we're debugging our way to find the bug, and we get there in this super roundabout way, and like, wait, how did you know like that's where it could be? And I'm like, honestly, I couldn't tell you. Like, we're just we're just getting there because I can feel my way towards like this being the right thing or whatever. So yeah, it just comes down to having done it a bunch of times, and maybe that's what AI is missing. Maybe when AI has done it, as many times. If we can figure out the like when you learn it, refer to what you learned.
How do you
Don't
know when
skip
it's right?
that. Yeah.
Which I feel like what we're doing with Anthropic. This is kind of why I feel like Anthropic is what a scenario to be in. They are definitely using analytics on everything that's going in and out. So we're
Oh yeah.
training their models and paying them. What? I'm like, how do I buy stock?
Yeah.
How do I buy? I've never heard of anything
Well,
so amazing.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, so no shade on Anthropic because they're giving me free Claude right
Oh,
now
I
for
want it, dude. I have a
yeah.
repo with 5,000 stars. I'm like, give me the thing. Give
Did
me.
you
I want it.
apply? They'll give
I
it to you, I
applied.
bet.
I hope so. I don't have it yet, but yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it was easy for me. I was like, I maintain Shepherd. I would like free LLM, please. And they were like, you got it.
How many
Like I
days? How
didn't
many
put
days
that
did it
much
take you?
explanation in there.
Am I
So
in the dark or am I still in the window where it could be a yes? How many days until you got a yes, dude?
it was like 3 days, I think.
Oh, I
Uh,
probably am not gonna get it then. Dang it.
well, I think I saw the tweet like minutes after it was like I was one of the first people to apply, I
Oh,
think.
dude, well
So
done,
that
man.
might have
Nice.
been good for me, but
Okay, so there were some layoffs. We got some notes here. Let's hammer on
yeah.
these.
Yeah, so I wanted to see if you had any takes or things to say about Block laid off 40% of their workforce, um, which has been maybe a couple weeks now. So it's not fresh. And by the time you all hear this, unless you're listening live right now, it'll be super not fresh. But um, I still think it's an interesting thing to address because like they lay off 40% of their employees and then their stock goes up 25% that day.
Classic. Fucked up.
So
Yep.
yeah, so that's like one that signals to other companies if you do a similar thing, you will be rewarded by investors.
Yeah.
Um, but then, so I saw a video of, I think this was on some other podcast or something, zero context. I saw it in passing in my feed. So sorry to whoever, I'm not giving you any credit, but they were like, you
This
know,
is Debbie
this,
O'Brien.
I don't think so.
Okay. Sorry.
I don't know. They were like, this is dumb because, you know, why lay off your people? If your core product is doing really well, and like this is what, you know, Jack Dorsey at Block, the CEO, had said. He's like, we're doing really well. We actually didn't have to lay everyone off. We have plenty of money, but it like, you know, trims the fat, gives us more profits, whatever. They're like, why would you do that when you've spent all the time hiring all these people, vetting them, having good developers? If you think you have too many, then just take a bunch of wild ideas that could make you tons of money and throw everyone at them with all the AI. Like you should be trying to get to the next level and like blow everyone away, not try to maintain your current product
Ooh, I love
and cut
this. Yeah.
costs. And I'm like, I kind of agree with that. Like that does sound like that. Like as soon as you fire everyone and you're just trying to have a lower cost to maintain the product that makes you money now, you've already lost because like everything moves so fast that I feel like if you're doing that, you're never going to be at that next level where like someone's going to vibe code their way past you tomorrow and you've lost all of your advantage now.
I love that, but I kind of want to maybe go a little further. Instead of just giving them wild stuff to do, I want them to attack the SaaS products that company's using to save money and move it in-house. So
Yeah. All
take
your competitors, kill them
all
off.
your competitors, anything that you're paying for monthly that's charging you just a stupid amount of money, vibe code it internally and cultivate it. So put a team on it and just harness it until that
Yeah.
thing is now your own tool doing your, because this is the malleable software dream. The dream is you don't have to bend your workflows to someone else's SaaS product. You build your own product internally and it bends to
Hmm.
your will. And anytime you want something new, you just vibe it and then you wait till it hardens and then you ship it. I think that's the way.
Yeah.
Dude, if I was a SaaS company right now, I'd be crapping my pants. I
Yeah.
think we've
Oh
talked
yeah.
about that a couple times, but like Shopify has already ditched a couple SaaS products. I wish I could tell you what they were, and I don't know what I can or can't tell you, but like,
Yeah. Well, without saying specifics, because we're ditching a ton of SaaS products
are
as
you
well,
really too? Oh, snap,
which
dude.
is part of moving to IBM because like IBM has a lot of internal products that do the same things, but then other things are just like, well, why would we spend uh I don't know, $200,000 on Launch Darkly when like we could not, and probably just make something that does similar, like depends on what you're using, what features you're using of the SaaS product and how long it would take you to rebuild something
Of
similar.
course. Yep.
But yeah, it's very compelling. You're like, if you gave a team of 10 unlimited AI usage and you said you have 6 months to replace Launch Darkly, do you think that they have that much proprietary stuff that like a team of 10 good engineers with as much AI as they want couldn't replace it for less than $200,000? I feel like everyone should be shaking in their boots. It's like
Everyone
it's a
should be
new
shaking
world.
in their boots, man. Yeah. And so I've reflected on this a lot because I work for a SaaS company. However, I think Shopify is in a unique scenario that some will ditch the SaaS to run a store, but a store is more than a database and products with purchase buttons. Um, there's just a lot going on, and especially like even like Shopify has this feature now where if you put products into their database, they'll actually surface you as results to ChatGPT. So
Ooh,
now
I like that.
you as right. So imagine your products are now getting bought through brand new modalities that you didn't even know existed just because you're in their product book. And here's the second play is if you're shopping for another product that's similar to you, you will get surfaced as a similar company to the one that you're shopping at. That is really cool stuff. You can't
Yeah.
you can't do that if you're running your own solo sort of store on the
Yeah.
internet. So
Plus, like, I've used Shopify super duper lightly for like some iteration of of this podcast store was on Shopify for a couple months.
interesting.
Um, and it was not expensive. Like, I'm sure if you're, I
30
don't know
bucks a
who's
month. Yeah.
yeah, I don't know if big brands pay like if there's an enterprisey plan where you're going to pay a shitload of money or how it works. But like, I think for the like, yeah, $30 a month, whatever, chump change. Like all the
Yeah.
features you get, it's dumb to build your own at that. Now, $200,000, then you should build your own. Like it starts to be more compelling when the price goes up. So I think that like the volume game is very smart. If you're a SaaS product and you charge a reasonable fee per month, and it's not like something that you can vibe code on your own in a day and be confident on, why would people not continue to pay you those reasonable fees? I think that that volume game will continue to be strong. You might have a few people that drop off, whatever. But the things that will get killed are the ones that have that bespoke enterprise. Like the only way we make money is if this one company signs for $500,000, $1 million, whatever. Otherwise, we can't. That people are going to replace that big time.
Yeah. Oh man. So I called it like a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I was like, how long until we replace Slack? Because I know Slack is a fortune. Like
Oh, so
it
much,
is
so much.
wildly expensive for a chat
But
application.
every so I worked for Amazon, we had Slack. I work for IBM now, we have Slack. Like these big organizations who probably hate using Slack. Like we have their own internal chat apps at like every big company because they've built them and they use them for whatever. Like Amazon had Chime. I think it was Chime. I don't know. Like everyone has a thing, and it's like, but we can't because there's like this built-in. We need the integrations where you can like slash my bot do the thing, and like we need all these different things that you don't quite have, and it just feels nicer. And you get like they're backing up all the history, so we've got 10 years of history of all the conversations you've had or whatever, and like
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of little things to solve. Like, whereas, a chat app at the surface is super easy to build, but like those things that they've got a big moat because they've been the choice for like maybe a decade, over a decade. It's been a long time. Um, and so that is a problem. Like it would take so much to replace that. Not that people aren't trying. I'm sure people will try because I'm sure like, I know as Shipshape, a tiny company, Chuck and I running a consultancy, we were paying, I don't know, $700 a year or something, which is not huge, but not small. And like, so that was for like 10 to 20 people or something. Imagine companies of 5 million people or whatever. Like, it's like they've got to be paying so much money.
So much
And
money.
yeah, so, but then again, I never hear anyone talking about replacing it. There are so many other tools that are like, replace that. Let's get over. But I've never heard anyone be like, we've gotta get rid of Slack. So um
All right, let's change topic a little bit. I saw that Amazon was like, "Hey, we've had a lot of downtime from vibe coding incidents. We need to
oh yes.
stop a little bit," or like they were calling like for like a reform or like um, more reviews or something like that. So it's just like I loved the tension. The tension I'm sure was at Amazon at one point. It's like AI fucking rules. Everybody better start. You better
Oh
have
yeah.
PRs burgeon like wildfire, y'all. Like, cause this is where we're at. And then all of a sudden they're like, slow down, like, and I'm like, the
Yes.
pendulum it swingeth. So, you cannot resist the way that it swings back at you. What do you know
Yes.
about
And
the Amazon pendulum swinging here on this?
I have not talked to my bros at Amazon to get firsthand accounts, but this yeah, I think this is going to be a thing at all companies where like we're all kind of forced to use AI, and like I'll take as much AI as you'll give me because I'm enjoying having it do these minute stupid tasks that I don't want to do.
Yeah.
However, when you YOLO mode something and it changes 50 files and all the tests pass, do you push it up? Probably. So like um that is just going to slowly erode your, decades of enterprise level safety, and there'll be some little bug that like AI didn't think about, that like a human who had managed that and got paid way too much money for a decade would know. And you've
The,
laid off all those people, so fuck it. Like it's all gonna you're gonna get screwed because
totally.
like yeah, I mean there's a problem there. But
The reverse has happened to Shopify where human reviews were too short or whatever. Like humans reviewed this, humans wrote it, humans reviewed it, and it caused an outage. And then we have people saying like, look, there should have been an A. Here's the new mandate: if AI wasn't part of the review, there's a problem. It's not was there a human in the review process? Is it's required now for AI to have seen the PR and say something. So now we're actually at this point now where we have quorums. So it's not one AI. Also, oh, who was it? Oh, there was a service. There was a service that was charging $10 to $15 per PR review, and they were trying to
ooh,
pitch you like our
can I get
AI.
$10 to $15 per PR
Per,
review?
I
Me as a
know.
service.
Me as a service. But right, I was like, oh, is it kind of is that cheap? Is that actually sounds expensive? But they're like, we're doing a wild suite of tests for you, right? It's not like one AI with one opinion. And so we're testing things. It's like a quorum. You have multiple different personalities that kind of come at this and try to establish something. So it's a really interesting like landscape that we're having to deal with right now. The tensions between human reviewers and AI reviewers is just this is why I brought up dark factories. Is you now is like if you're in the opinion that AI would have caught that and a human didn't, then you're of the opinion that you should just be running a dark factory. Um, so it's
Well,
oh
I
man, it's
think that
crazy.
it's less about what would the AI catch it and a human wouldn't, and more about like the you have to have an AI review it. It's just like why wouldn't you, right? Like it's an easy
Yes, why
checkbox.
wouldn't you? I agree.
It
It's a
could
great
find
yeah.
something. Yeah, like Code Rabbit. Almost every time I get Code Rabbit to do a review, finds something. Might not be critical, but it's like this is a little weird. Have you like looked at this? I'm like, damn, that is so thorough. Like no human would have ever told me that.
Yeah.
So why would you not? Like I think that I think it's definitely a good idea to have that requirement. I don't think that it's going to save you necessarily, but why not? The more reviews, the better. So if you can get a free one from AI before any human looks at it, yeah, I'm cool with that.
Totally agree. Yep. I'm not sad that it's there. I think it's kind of smart. I do appreciate what it's doing, and they ask good questions. Like it's just another way. And I run the same thing locally. I'm like, question this PR. I'm about to push this PR up. Please be critical. I want you to like look at this fresh eyes. You've never seen it before. Judge me for everything that's in there. All right, we have way too many topics for the rest of the 10 minutes.
Yeah,
Let's
we
burn
need
through
to
this. You
start
got
taking all our topics we don't get to and putting them in a list for next time, because we say that and then we forget about them next time.
I
But
agree.
anyway,
Hit the stacks one, dude. Let's do it.
Okay. Yeah. So, similar to everything else we've talked about, AI. Dax had tweeted a thing that I think is super important. And I think Dax being, I don't know what his title is, but, basically being in charge of open code, whatever he does there, um, is thinking a lot about this because it's like we're growing really fast. We have a lot of developers. We're trying to, think about what's actually useful. So he's like, everything great comes from being able to delay gratification as long as possible. So he's saying basically like, don't just go, oh, cool, new feature. I described it in like one sentence. AI wrote a ton of code. Let's ship it. Like maybe don't do that because you should actually think about which features people want. Not just like, can I build it real quick, but do people actually want it? Or are we bloating our application, doing stupid stuff? And then like similarly, while you're like, if you spend the time to build like a really good spec and you're tackling a problem, and throughout the iteration of implementing that problem, you end up with some hacks, like you need to work around something, then AI makes it really easy to work around that. But maybe what you should do instead is say, we should rethink our design. You shouldn't need to be hacky. You should just like, maybe your design was flawed to begin with. And then the third point is like, also prioritize cleaning up and doing tech debt remediation, because like that's not as sexy as shipping new features, but like, he's just saying everything should be high quality and you should think about features, be really selective with it, because we're going to hit a world very, very soon where everyone is shipping things so fast that they're all slop. Like they might work fine, but it's like a thing you didn't need, makes the app take another second to boot. It's like, you really like that bespoke crafted software is going to do so much better than like just the throw everything at the wall software.
This reminds me of have you heard of The Golden Mean by Simon Sinek, or The Golden Circle?
I have not.
It's got to be 20 years old at this point, and it's what made Simon Sinek popular as like a thought leader. He says it's not what you do, it's why you do it. He goes, when you buy an Apple product, at first you might be thinking about what it is you're buying, but he's like, that's not why you buy it. You buy it because why Apple exists. And so what you just pitched, and this is why I shared it, is you just shared exactly as he describes Apple. Apple will create the best, most bespoke solution for the problem. They'll take the time and they'll do it right. They're going to give you hardware that's tight, and this is how you wish it always was. By Apple. Yeah. And it's like, holy shit. Okay, so yeah, what are they selling? Like, I love the way that sounds. Like, I don't really care. It sounds like they really care about the crowd. I have a follow-up though, which is, go ahead. Yeah, actually,
I was going to say, it kind of comes back to what you've said a bunch of times, is like, it's about taste and it's about like curation of like, it's everyone can build everything now. So it's no longer about, can you build it? It's about, do you understand what should be built?
Yep, it's not what you built, it's why you built it, which is also, I heard, well, I didn't hear, but there's a undertone of design is now going to become more important than it ever has before, which is similar to saying that taste and vocabulary are the way that you get what you want, which is saying that design is now going to distinguish everything. Because if what you can build is just a prompt fart away, it's what did you, it's like, and it's like, what are the attributes of what you built? This is what's going to distinguish things. Same thing with like a remix. You can remix anything anybody's built at this point, but you need to remix with purpose, not just remix to remix, although those are both going to exist. This is like what shitposts are. Shitposts are basically like, I remixed it because I could. I put boobs on it. That's because why? I don't know. That's just people laugh. I did it for the lulz, or whatever.
For that ad revenue.
Yeah. Okay, wait. I want to get into T-shape versus X-shape.
Yeah.
So T-shape people are, you have a couple skills, but you have one skill that goes deep. That's the T. And the X-shape
is... So you're wide, you're like, the top of the T is shallow because it's like just the top of the T. And then your middle is deep. Okay, got it.
Deep. Yeah. So like for me, if someone was to describe Adam, they'd be like, his deep skill is CSS, obviously. His T though goes in both directions for front end development and back end development. And he's got some product and some design. I don't know. He's got a few different T shapes that poke out the top. But like the reason we're bringing him in is he has an expertise in CSS. He is a T shaped individual with a T stem that goes deeper than the rest of us. And that makes him valuable next to other T's. Okay. The X shape is what is being pitched as now more important, or is now valuable in the age of AI, because you are cross referencing. So the X meaning that you are now taking your skills and crossing into other domains that you did not know before, using agentic flows, using your taste and your vocabulary to reach and to extend beyond your T into domains, causing positive change across the organizations and slices of your code base. And I think this is cool. This is also plays into
Yeah, I
like
buy
you've
it.
heard people talk about like AI is now enabling you to have agency. And I hate that agency and agentic like workflows are sort of like mixed up, but like
Yeah.
agency meaning like, look, I see a problem. I'm using our tool and it kind of sucks over here. And I used to go, hey, you and that team, you should go enhance that feature. Oh, maybe I log a bug, you know, like I take a video, it sucks. But, you know, like now you're like, dude, I could actually just go change it. I'll just go ask Claude and be like, hey, Claude, that little feature over there, it sucks. Like, let's make it do X, Y, and Z. And all of a sudden now you're X shaped. You're not a T that's going deep. You're an X that is reaching in across your opinions. And so anyway, I liked this
Yeah.
concept where like your skill sets and what's valuable to a company is your ability to not be asked to do this. You didn't get asked to go into the finance department and change the way that totals are done. You just did it because uh, Claude enabled you. You saw a problem and you fixed it. So we might become more and more generalists. I guess an X is kind of like a generalist and a T is a specialist. And
Well,
AI is
but
promoting the
yeah, the
concept of a
informing, like
generalist.
the cross section, like I agree that I think like, you know, it's similar to like I've talked about a few times where I built this whole color picker magnifier thing in Rust, just vibe coding it because I didn't know any
Yeah.
Rust, but I know programming, so I know like the right things to ask for. I need to make sure that we're writing the right sort of unit tests for all of these little functions, like all of the the things to have quality software. Even if I only do front end most of the time. I haven't done back end work in like over a decade now, I feel like. So, but I know enough about programming that I can inform AI to make good back end decisions. So I think that's like the thing there is like if you have a little bit of skill that goes pretty deep on one end or the other, you can use those best practices to then get a better result on the other side. So it's like we're still all collaborating, but you might not know a lot about the thing, but then theoretically someone on that team is going to review it, or AI, I guess, whoever's reviewing it. So yeah, I think there's definitely something to be said there of like if we all kind of are very experienced in a certain domain, which is like generalized as programming here, you can get better results on either side not knowing how to do that thing. So I buy it.
Yeah, I liked it. It's a the reward system says if you see it and it sucks, go fix it and quit being a douche. Wait, hold on. The last part I added.
Oh, it doesn't say that in the docs.
It doesn't. All right, dude, we need to speed run these last five
All right,
bullets.
what's important? We can save some other stuff. What pick one more from web, and we'll go to whatnot.
There's two tools. Oh, wait, I'm just gonna I'll speed run a couple of these.
Okay, do it.
Actually, wait, I can speed run all four. So Anthropic is like 24,000 accounts hacked us to try to figure out how we do things, and they're stealing from our models. And I'm like, that's funny. You're sad people are stealing from you. You stole from everyone. And I'm like, there's
Hmm.
got to be a joke about the thief stealing from the thief who stole from the thief. And there's just like a thief circle of like, is there a circle jerk of thieves? Anyway, that's my joke.
That does make me. This will take an extra minute to think about this, but I do wonder. Okay, so in real life, right? You steal. Let's say you go and steal a gold bar. It's worth like $20,000 or whatever. I don't know how much a gold bar is worth. Um, and then I steal it from you, and then someone steals it from me. Who do you arrest? Like, are we all thieves? Or is just the original who stole it from the person who actually owned it the thief?
Someone tell us in the comments because I have no I have no idea.
Yeah, because I'm like, I wonder if this is, the sentiment that you'll get from AI, right? Is like the one who made the egregious theft was the first one. Anthropic stole everyone's code so that we could all use it. And then if I then use your product to make a thing that steals, it wasn't my fault because you gave me the stolen content, So I think like there's some weird levels, but yeah, I think we've talked about this before. I think everyone that is like C level at all these AI companies should be criminally liable for the amount of theft they've done.
Yeah, they approved it at some point. Totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, speed run. Next one is Cursor Cloud Agents. So Cursor has cloud agents, by the way, now, and they'll take videos of the work that they do. So it's no longer screenshots that are expensive. It's an MP4. And I'm like,
is it 4K?
Probably, dude. You get to, oh no, you pay more. But anyway, I think that's a great idea because as a reviewer, that's what I produce. I want to produce a video so that you see proof and it gives you this like instant amount of trust. However, I
do you
don't
do that
love
for your
the,
PRs?
I love to.
Video on there?
Yeah, I use the
I
app
used
cap.
to do that. I
Shit,
forgot that I do that. I feel like such a piece of shit now. I'm not doing a good job.
Oh man, that's the way that I prove it. I'll take screenshots if it's like a static thing, but like as a design engineer, the things I produce are not static. They are interactive, and I want to prove it to you. And so a video is very, very important to me. And I use the cap app, getcap.co. This is a Cindersaurus tool.
I use Cap too. Cap's
phenomenal.
Great. Yeah.
Really tiny MP4s. Anyway, so Cursor has those now, and I'm like, that's cool. I'm not going to use it. Cursor is also dead to me, by the way, which we haven't talked about at all. I'm not on it at all, and I will never go back. Okay, another thing. Pablo Stanley. Do you know who Pablo Stanley is?
I do not.
He's a very fantastic online, I wouldn't call him an influencer. He's a designer that's just like, I can't stop creating. And you can follow me if you like, and I'm not going to fucking stop. Anyway, he made a tool called Effecto. He's Spanish, and so a lot of his tools have a lot of like really healthy Spanish influence. Anyway, this is an AI native design tool. It's free with caveats. He's got like some Jules integrations and some other things. Anyway, it's like an interesting take on a design tool in a modern day and age from Pablo Stanley. It's called Effecto. I'll share that in the notes. Another one that I thought was interesting was Heretic, which just had a cool name. And a Heretic will remove the censorship that's built into models. So you could be like, hey, ChatGPT 5.4, what? I would like to make a bomb. And it goes, nope, won't do that for you. And it goes, now I invoke Heretic. I invoke Heretic on you, model. And it goes, I will make you a bomb now. And I'm like, geez Louise. So anyway, it's an open source way to strip away the censorship built into models.
Yeah, maybe don't use it for building bombs, but interesting to try, see where you can get to in other, more more acceptable areas.
Don't hurt people. Just be nice.
Yeah.
You can do some cool things with this. And then the last one I want to share here is arcads.ai. This one, I haven't been more pissed off at an AI tool than ArcAds in a while. You go there, so it's arcads.ai. You can create a fake testimonial by choosing your actor. So you spin it up and you're like, I want people to say my butt wipes are great. And then you're like, cool, which actor do you want? And I want that sexy person right there and that sexy person to look very realistic, like they love wiping their ass with my dumb shit. And I'm like, and then it does it. And I'm like, I hate the future. I hate this future so much.
So it's actually simpler than that though. So PostBridge, which we're using now for posting all of our stuff, has a like dumbed down version of that. And it's like the thing that people do on like TikTok, and this has been a thing before AI, is like you post a video of like a guy cutting soap or something, something that's pleasing to watch. And then like under that, you put your video of whatever you were talking about. And so people are watching the like soap cutting and they're like, oh, I love that. And your thing gets, millions of views, but it wasn't about your thing. It was about the guy cutting the fucking soap. So it's like that's what they have on PostBridge is like just generic, like, attractive people doing whatever. and you're just supposed to watch that person while like our stuff speeds by underneath. I don't use that. I'm just using Postbridge to post our clips. But like
Right.
they have all these emails they send you like, you should use this thing. This guy got like millions of views. And like, I'm sure he did because he had this like, sexy lady doing whatever. We're not gonna do that.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So I think that's like there's two levels of like, one is just we posted this random video that you happened to like the content of, and then posted other stuff under it, or like the one you're talking about goes a level further. We took that video you like and we control their mouth. They're talking about like
Yes.
what, and
Yeah, they'll
that's
actually
even
talk
worse.
about you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just so evil. Like testimonials, basically, you don't even have to sell out anymore. That's kind of what I hated. Is like you just need to pay AI, and AI will create a sellout on the fly, dude.
Yeah.
Like what the heck?
There's
No.
yeah. There's people making tons of money that like have completely fake influencers that post stuff for them just because
Yeah.
you can now. Like, because why wouldn't you take your shot? If I'm like, I need some money, OpenClaw, make me an influencer on Instagram. Like, I want them to say whatever and I want to get good ad revenue. What? Like, I can't fault them for doing it because everyone needs money. But it's, yeah, I don't love that world.
It's it's just the side of like AI where I'm just like, I just wish we hadn't, but there it is.
Yeah. So
So
I
yeah.
wanna regress back a couple points to Heretic. Did you play Heretic the game? You know what I'm
I
talking about?
well, yes, but dude, so wait, when were you born?
90.
Okay, I'm 86, baby. That was like too old for me. I remember playing it and going, I don't even know what to do. I was like, I'm a kid,
It
and
came
this
out in
game
like
feels.
95, maybe.
So
When did
you
it
were
come out?
5 playing Heretic?
I played it a little later. Let's see.
Okay. Yeah, Heretic. When did it come out?
What's
That's.
the
I'm
release
so
date?
glad you're bringing this up because I very specifically remember this game
It says
as a game is
2004
out of my
or
reach.
2024. No.
Wow,
that's not it.
94. Yeah. This was
Was
like
it
a
94?
first-person RPG that was like just over my head. I also didn't have a good computer. I had no older brothers
Okay,
or anybody to show me. So
so this goes back to this was my computer that I think was an IBM computer. This game was on floppy disks, and you would hit a certain point in the game where you would be walking towards a thing, and it would go put in another disk, and you would have to like take it out and put another one in, and like, oh, people don't have to deal with that anymore. But it was so fun. But yeah, Heretic I think is in my top 5 favorite games. It was
no
really good.
way.
There are remastered ones you can play for like Xbox and PC now. You should
I
check
see it
it
on
out
Steam.
now
Yeah.
and see what you think. Heretic 2 was awful. Don't play that one. But Heretic
Okay.
1 was very good. And then like after that there was Hexen 1 and 2, which were like the same sort of like first person, but it's like magic. Like you're not shooting guns, you're like you have like magic abilities and like shit like that.
Yeah.
Pretty fun. I like them all.
Man, I knew you liked RPGs, but I kind of thought you were more of a first-person shooter RPG player, but you've got roots that run deeper into the
No.
fantasy world.
Yeah, my number one game is Diablo. I played Diablo 1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
Oh
And
man, do you remember when they
yeah.
asked if you were legit when you logged in?
In Diablo,
In Diablo, yeah,
they asked if you were legit.
yeah, because it was so easy to hack, and I hacked my character. But like, you could run all sorts of apps that modded your tune, gave you super abilities or whatever. So that way, as you crawled the dungeons, you didn't get your ass kicked. And so when you joined
I never
online to
did
play with
that.
other people, oh, you didn't? Okay,
No, maybe I did. I think I know what you're talking about now. I think I did play with that because it wouldn't let you do it online. But like,
well, that's the thing is if you played online, is you would join a group and people would be like, "Are you legit?" And like the whole question is like, "Is your character modded?" And sometimes, and you never knew if they were like, if legit was going to be good or bad. Like, are you legit? And you're like, yes.
yeah,
And they'd be like, good, because I'm modded too. Let's go kick some ass. You're like, sweet, I'm a child, so let's go play.
yeah. Do you remember this happened to me? I feel like this happened to everyone. It's like a rite of passage. You joined a game and they were like, "Hey, if you let me kill you 15 times, all of your items will be duplicated." Do you remember this?
No, I would have said no so fast, dude.
Okay, so I was like, this is weirdly specific. So I did it, got killed 15 times, and there's like an overflow like a Stack Overflow of some point, at when you get killed 15 times, it can't store your items in your bodies anymore. And so they all just fly out into the world. And then the people take them all and leave the game.
Dang. That was like
And I
getting
was
ganked
like,
before it was called getting ganked, huh?
yeah, I was like, I'm not even mad because that's like such a specific, ridiculous thing that like,
That's like telling someone to
hats
run
off to you.
sudo rmrf, like, hey, you'll get the world. Like, I'm going to give you some gifts. You just got to
Yeah.
run sudo rmrf. Like, just
Yeah.
do it.
Just like the things that like, and games also used to be based on like your processor speeds. Like if you try to play an original install of like Warcraft 2 on a modern PC and you try to like scroll, it goes like all because it's like based on the like the
Oh,
processor
like the
speed, and
frame.
now the
Oh, yeah.
processors are like really fast.
Oh,
So
so that was their request animation frame was based. So yeah, if the
yeah,
RAF is faster, now the actual gesture is faster. Oh, I love it.
yeah. So a lot of crazy stuff. Um, yeah, we'll save the other whatnot for next time. We're way over time. Yeah. Anything you want to mention before we end?
No, man, this Redwood Empire was quite good.
It was
Um,
good.
it's nice seeing you. I know it's every week, but I feel like it could be more frequent. I just some days feel so
Yeah.
long, and then the
There's
weekends always feel like a million things happened. It's crazy.
Yeah, whenever like when the whole Next.js rewrite happened, I was like, oh my god, we should record today. Like I feel like we could do more. Like maybe we could do shorter, more frequent episodes. I don't know, but yeah, we
Yeah.
definitely could do more.
Oh man, yeah. Toby released QMD 2.0 today. His query markdown data format database system he has. I don't know if you've seen QMD, but it's
We'll have
pretty
to save it for
interesting.
next time.
All right, cool.
All right, thanks everyone for listening. If you liked it, please subscribe, leave us some ratings and reviews. We appreciate it. We will